Morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 30th. It is the last trading day of the month. It's also the largest November on record in terms of percentage movements. And so here we are looking at SPY. We had a bounce yesterday at 455 that came in, faded, and then recovered. And this morning we're starting a little bit above, actually a fair bit above the prior day's close, bouncing fairly nicely. Price action looks sideways to bullish. So here's what I want to tell you. If you are a trader that is thinking, hey, I want to short this, the one thing you need to go, hold on, I could be wrong, is this right here, these higher lows. So dips are still going to be buy zones. This is bullish, it's a green ribbon, this is a green ribbon, this is a green ribbon. It tells you the pullbacks are going to be buy zones. So where might they be? Well, this 455 region is big. That's why we've got it sitting on the charts. As it comes in here, you can't think to yourself, oh gosh, if I've gone short just the other day, then that's great, but hindsight's 2020. Look at what you've got right now. Remember, candle in motion, 2 candles to the left. So what we just did with the 2 candles to the left is break through this candlestick formation and this one. So really, as long as we hold this region, the top of this candle is next, and the top of this candle is next, which is close to the all-time highs. So let's just put something here. Let's not propose that things are definitely going in one direction or another. We're just going to look at it. Now, here's something else. A trader who sees these topping formations and this topping might say, you know what, I'm going to short right here. And that's fairly valid, but as long as you've got this higher low, you can't short and hold on because there's buying pressure underneath that's going to push you out of the trade. So what do you want to do? You want to look for this and say, hey, I'm going to let it come back to 455. I'm going to wait for 455 to hold, and then when it does, I'm going to go long. All right? That's what you want to do. This is a big rounding space that we lost 455. That means we go down to the next line in the sand and we go, okay, let's see if it goes here. If you take it here, because here's a low and here's a high, and then here's a higher low, you could say, okay, there's my higher low. I'm moving forward. You could go long here. What you would do is wait for it to recapture the 455, and then you can add to your position if you are so inclined. That's one of the many ways that you can move around price, but it is simply look at the current candle, 2 candles to the left, whichever way they're going. If it's done with the 2 candles, it's going to start retracing the ones further to the left. And that's going to be the same thing in the direction down. Notice, here it is, the top, starts retracing, retraces, and then notice where it comes into. Let's say these are the 2 candles and this is the one that you start watching. It's still retracing through this big candle, and then this big candle, it stops right here, turns right around. Price is all you need to focus on. So today we're looking at 455 for the longs, continuation 456. Could you chase it long out of the gates? Absolutely. Absolutely. What you want to make sure is that, let's use something like 5 minutes so you're careful to watch what needs to go on, right? You can see this is mainline support. So risk event all the way down at 455.90 and some change. If it goes past here easily, it could drift down further right into this wick action. So what do you want to do? You want to look for it to come into somewhere around 456.32. Ideally, you can take it long and run it up the flagpole. You could certainly do that. Once it starts getting outside that outer Keltner band, things can get a little bit dicey, but certainly buying the dip is very much what we want to be doing across the SPY, the Qs, the ES, the NQ, everything. All right? All right. So let's take a look at the Qs. Same thing. Lifted off of this edge of 390. Holding the zone. Take a look at what's happening. This is an outside candlestick. It's got a higher high and a lower low of the prior candlestick, but 2 candlesticks away, still providing support. So you're looking for a bounce pattern somewhere around the 389.70-ish area. That's going to be ideal. And what you want the chart to do is propel above this 392 area, so you know you've got the next target up there at 390, 395, 394. Okay? If it fades from this area, right? That's why you just don't want to buy it on the pullback. You want to let it do its thing. If it shakes out, like see how these big wicks just shook everybody out, that's because they just bought it on the pullback. And when you've got a flat Keltner channel like this, you're going to have these little sideways things. So look for the deep dips for the buying, sell at the top. And if you want to get here in the middle, you certainly can at the 390 area, but let it collapse through the area and then recapture the zone, certainly at the higher lows, so you can keep yourself in focus. Let's take a look at the ES. Actually, you know what? I want to look at oil. Ooh, all right, so oil has breached my 78 line in the sand. Remember I said 75 to 76 to 77 to 78. It is now on approach to 80. That's a big push. That's a really, really big push. That's going to be great for our XOP. We have a position here in XOP. It's a hedged position, but it's still a good one. Yeah, we're doing just fine. That'll be absolutely great. So let's go to the ES. Come on. There we go. All right. So now we got a lot of numbers. Things moving really big. 45.75 is a breakout zone, right? We know it's really the 45.65 to 45.75 zone. Here's prior sellers. They came right in and said, you know what, I'm going to try and sell that off. But the dips are buys. Here's the difference. This one, very sideways. Very, very sideways. They are waiting on something. It could be tomorrow, folks, that they're waiting on, and I will be completely out of pocket. My flight is at noon UK time, and so I'll be in the air for the entire time that the market is open. So, that being said, that's what we've got going on here. So today, it could be the same as yesterday, a bounce high and then a fade back into support, right? And so that's what we're looking at here. Could you say to yourself, hey, listen, I want to take a short at 75? Absolutely. Where's your stop going to be? 79, right? Maybe 80. But that's it, because once it gets past here, it's got this giant candle it's going through, right? Right now, all it's making are candlestick bodies that are higher high and higher lows. So the pullback is a buy zone. Where do you want that pullback to be? Listen, it could be 45.71 that it holds. It could be 45.75 that it holds, that it makes moves from. But for me, if I decide I'm going to come in, I want to come in where I know the price action is going to have some good traction, and so it'll be down here in the congestion zones. If I trade up here, it'll be scalping action, but you can see why they're trying to sell it off, right? Right there. I'll put it right there, right? So 45.61, still looking at that zone to be an area for the chart to bounce. Notice yesterday it faded sharply below that area, and then it began to clip. Think this to yourself. Listen, what is the slope of my ribbon? Am I moving up? These dips are going to get bought. Could they be savage dips? Yes, but wait for them to settle and then get yourself involved. Don't go, ooh, I got to get in here. Don't do that. Step aside. Volume is thin. When volume is thin, prices can move very quickly. Very, very quickly. So stand to the side and let the chart do its thing. Okay? Oops. And one.
On it. Here's what I found.
No, Siri. Okay. So here we are sitting in this. The NAS is pulling back a little bit, not a ton, right? Still looks really good, breaking out higher lows, higher highs. Candlestick bodies getting smaller and smaller. This is always a warning sign to me. Volume getting lighter and lighter. It tells me it's going to congest and sit still here in a range. Now, it doesn't tell me it's going to rotate over, although I anticipate that. It could easily just sit here for a while. Everybody sort of go, all right, well, old resistance, new support. That's what's going to happen. And then turn around and move straight up, right? The markets usually go against general consensus, and everybody's thinking all-time highs at the end of the year. Not everybody, but a lot of people are. And so I'm going to go, hang on, wait a minute. All right, so let's look at this. Again, green ribbon, but sideways. So if it's sideways, the sweet spots are down here or up here, right? So wait for the dip. Right now, this candlestick, big spike here, fading here, 2 candles to the left. Once it starts moving out of this area, it's going to move to this area, and then to this area, and then all of a sudden we're in this candlestick formation, all right? Could this be a short? Yes, it could be a short, but these higher lows tell us that if it's a good short, what it's going to have to do is bounce and make another lower high for us, because right now it's making a higher high. So you want to be very careful about that, thinking that it's going to be a nice clean short. It will not be. We've got these higher lows under here and higher highs. So the buyers are defending the position. They're not doing it with a great deal of power or momentum, but that's neither here nor there at this point, because what they are doing is defending the trend. All right, good luck today, everyone. Let's take a peek at gold one more time. Oh, I looked at gold beforehand, sorry. Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with the move in gold. Very, very interesting. All right, everybody, that's it. I'll see you on the platform. Take care.